hello, it's been a year.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's been a. We how many times did we try and record this after? Was it 2 or 3? I can't.
I don't even fucking know.
It was
It's
a long time. I think I remember I tried to, after the last episode, I tried to make one in August, and then I was like, no, I'll make one for Halloween, and then no, I'll make one for Christmas, and then by that point I gave up. It was like mid-December. I was like, yeah, I think we'll just stop the podcast forever now. However, we recently were coming up to it, and we were like, fuck it, why not make another one? So this is going to be a yearly thing now. This is going to be the yearly podcast, I guess. And, I mean, hey, fucking, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? So, hello. How's it going? It's been... So, Russo, how you doing, man? How's your entire year been?
Daddy.
God, yeah, lots fucking happened since then. But,
so much shit has happened.
Especially, you've probably noticed a lot of channel changes in format and people, I guess. But yeah, obviously the main differences of the channel, you've probably realised, is that we're starting to get more different friends, different bunch of our friends on. Pretty much just say to any of them, hey, you want to be in a video, or we just hit record. So yeah, now you've obviously got Charlie, Josh, Jam. They've all joined in. We might get a few more people in the future, different people to play with. Also planning to probably play a bunch of new games as well. We'll keep mixing it up, and we might keep the Sea of Thieves and Human Fall Flat playthrough going, but we're not too sure. Yeah, for now, obviously, as you can see from like the new format, I started subtitling videos, which has been hell. But I still think it makes the quality of the video better in general, to be honest. So yeah, I hope if you guys are watching, I hope you enjoy it. I spend a lot of time on it, and I really like how the videos are now and the format we've kind of chosen. So got a couple more videos coming out soon. Some new ones and stuff, and we hopefully will have more variety of different types of games in the future. But like I said, we'll see what we can do or what games we can get, because it will just depends on who can get what in the end, or who's available to play whatever. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be the same. We're thinking about rebranding at some point in the future. We've got some ideas. We've got a few ideas here and there. And trying to probably make it food themed, I guess. But we're trying to come up with some ideas, because right now, as I said to Russo, I still think our channel sounds like a white supremacist channel. But that's just me.
I mean, we are trying to change it, aren't we?
Yeah.
We was thinking about some things, but
we've been trying to change it for a long time, but we've never really got round to it or come up with any solid ideas. I think the main idea is like we said, it'll be food themed. For our usernames, Free Pasta and Just Toast, and we both love food as well, and we'll try and make it themed around that. But then obviously, once we have a name, I'll make a couple graphics for it, change the intro and outro a bit, but just pretty much the content will be exactly the same, most likely, but it will just be rebranded into something more. I want to say politically correct, but we are not politically correct at all. So I'll just say, I don't know. So something nicer is probably the best way I'd describe it in the
words of Tyler the Creator. That was a fucking lie.
Yes, that was a fucking lie. But yeah, like I was saying about rebranding, you probably noticed that we've changed the podcast name because we are. Obviously, because we might be rebranding our channel in the future, we wanted to just separate the podcast from. We kind of separate the name for it instead of keeping it the Socially White Cast in case we change our name in the future. So we decided to give it like a space themed. Just thought it was cool. Just thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, the original idea was we were going to call this like the yearly cast, because now we're making this podcast yearly. But so we bounced around a few ideas, calling it like the yearly cast, like the 365 cast or whatever. And then I said and then I said, how about we make it how we make it like to do like going around the sun, and then we had like the orbit cast, and then we just decided to go on a space theme because we thought it was cool. So yeah, this is the rebranded podcast now. Obviously, it'll be every year, and we'll try and I guess we'll try and talk about everything that's happened in the past year. But I mean, we'll do our best, or just talk about random stuff in general, as we usually do. But yeah.
I always ask
Human.
this, what language do you think in? And he just doesn't have an answer for me.
Well, no, because for people that speak, people who are bilingual, they don't, you know, it's like, it's weird. It's a weird thing because they, you know, well, how would you respond if someone asked that question?
I don't know.
There you go. So how can you ask someone else?
Because I only speak one language, so I don't know.
Yeah, but even if you're talking to right, for example, if you're talking, let's say you know fluent Italian, whatever, and you're speaking to someone in that language, and then you're thinking of something in your head before you say it. You're thinking like if you're thinking of something to say, you're gonna think, all right, that's the word for that. If you're not fluent, for example, or if you're fairly uncommon with it or getting used to it, you're gonna think of it, how to say it, and then you're gonna say it. While for us, obviously, because we're fluent in English, you're going to speak when you say it without hesitation, unless it's something specific that you want to say to someone.
Or have you got a stutter?
Yeah, or you're nervous or whatever. But obviously, it's like me talking to you right now. I don't have to think about it at all. Really, I could just go. It's the same thing for anyone. When talking to someone they're comfortable with and don't struggle talking about it, then you don't have a problem. So it's like, yeah. But I mean, obviously...
You know what I'm saying?
What'd you say?
What?
What'd you say?
What are you talking about?
You cut out. This is Discord.
Ed,
Discord's gaslighting me.
Ed, I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. You're just losing your shit now. Yeah, but I just don't understand. Like, if you was raised from birth to be bilingual, so like... You're completely 100% fluent in English and French, English and whatever. You're not always going to think in the same language because, like, you know both languages off by heart, right?
Yeah, but what do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Well, no, because it's like, are you saying because thinking is a very broad term? Are you saying thinking in a conversation, or are you saying thinking in general?
All right, so right now, think about something right now. Think about it. Go on.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. What language are you just thinking?
Clearly, I thought in English because it's the only language
I
know.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. But then people who speak both languages, do they think in both languages at the same time, or like, do they do like the first half of their thought in English and the second half in other language, or what?
It depends, because if you're saying something like, right, so for example, like I said, if you're in a conversation and you want to say something to someone, or let's say you want to crack a joke, or you want to say, or you just want to say something that's
okay. No. We're talking about a single language person or a bilingual person?
Bilingual.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Right, let's say like you want to but in this situation, right? Okay, let me sitting up now.
I've leaned.
No, let's you got me leaning forward. No, let's say like if you're having a conversation with someone, it's a normal conversation going on, maybe it's small talk, maybe I don't know, you talk about something really dull like the weather, I don't fucking know, it's something basic as hell. It's maybe a stranger, someone new you've met. You're not talking about something really in depth or like anything that demands a lot of thinking. You're just talking. Then if you get to a point where you want to crack a joke or talk about something in depth or something you're passionate about, or your life or an experience or memory or whatever, you're going to think it before you say it because you're going to be recalling it or whatever. So are you saying when I think...
No, because if you're perfectly bilingual, like from birth you've been raised both languages, you wouldn't think about it. Because when you tell a joke, do you think about the joke or...
Oh, well, no, okay, right. That's a different scenario then. Are you saying it might be different if someone's been... So we've been raised learning English, and then if you chose to learn another language now, would that be different?
I would have to think about it, yeah.
Yeah, would that be different between someone thinking about... So would you say, do you think in English or that other language? Would that be different for someone who's learned a language late in their life or raised being bilingual?
No, of course that would be different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean,
of course that would be different.
So obviously people have been raised knowing two languages by heart, like
human
and
human.
I know they learned English later on. They weren't like straight off.
I think
human.
Tommy learned it from birth. because he said his
human.
But I know
Human.
yeah. I think
Human.
told me his dad was. I think it was his dad. He said was English and his mum was Spanish. I think, or it might have been the other way around, but I don't know. But yeah, so obviously it might be different for someone, but I don't know. When you say think, I mean in a conversation, yes, it would be you think if you're talking to someone in the other language, not your native tongue. If you're talking to someone in the other language, like for example, you're talking in French. If you're talking in French, you're going to think what you're saying in French in your head because before you say it, because you're not 100% accustomed to that language yet. You're not fluent. So obviously, but if you're thinking about a general thought and not talking, you're going to think in your native tongue. I think if someone's born knowing being bilingual, I think in that scenario, if you ask that question, do you think in this language or that language, that's valid. But if you say it to someone who's learnt a language later in their life, I think they'll always think in their native tongue because it's like you'll think in English in your head. Or if it's just a general thought, not even a conversation, because what's the point of thinking in the other language? Because it would just make it harder for you because you haven't been raised with that language. Yeah, you may be fluent, but it's not your native tongue, so it's not automatically like for example the people. So
you said if you've been raised with both languages, from birth.
That question is valid because then they have either choice because they're still like
because both are their native tongue.
Yeah, both are their native tongue because it's basically the exact same level. They know both languages just as well as each other.
I feel like the only one you might favour is like depending on what country you're in.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe the one you use the most because if your parents are from two different countries, speak two different languages like their native tongue, and then obviously depending where you live, or like if someone's from if one of their parents is French and the other one's English, and then they're both teaching them the language from they're a kid. Obviously, they're going to speak English their whole life and then use French occasionally. Maybe talking to their parents in French, maybe only talking to family. So I know a few people like that who only use their for example, I'll say his name, but I'll censor it out.
Human.
When he
human.
Yep.
Human.
Obviously he said, was it Arabic? Was his
so he speaks three. English is his third language.
So I remember he told me he spoke a bit of Arabic to me, and I was like, whoa.
So he doesn't really know Arabic that well.
Yeah, I know. Because I asked that to him, and he went no.
So he mostly spoke Afrikaans, French, and English. And then a little bit of Arabic on the side.
Was it his uncles from Nigeria?
I don't know.
Because I remember him telling me the place family like a relatives home in Nigeria. I remember him showing me in class. So I found it interesting when he's saying he'd speak a bunch of different languages. I was like, whoa, wish I could do that. You can speak a bit of Mandarin.
Bit of Ching Chong, yeah.
I was so jealous that, and you take it, and the way you just like, you always say to me like, who fucking cares? But all I got to learn in school, in year 6, my year 6 teacher was had a place in France and was fascinated with France. I think he might have a French family. I don't know, but I was learn a bit of French in year 6, and then from year 7 to 9, from year 7 and 8, I learnt French and German, and then in year 9, I dropped French and learnt German because I preferred it. Which I wish we had what you had. I would have dropped everything for Mandarin because, in my opinion, it's a much more interesting language. Because I learned French for so many years and I hate it, and it's so annoying. It's so frustrating.
So the way my school did it was year 7 you learn both French and German. Year 8 and 9 you get put on one or the other depending on what you was better at.
Yeah.
And year 10 you got to do our choices, so you didn't have to take any languages.
Yeah, it was the same for us. In obviously for GCSE you dropped everything apart from English, maths, science, No. You chose your sciences, so you chose. You can either do triple or double. You could either do.
We didn't get chose. We got sorted.
You could either do triple or double. Basically, everyone said like everyone who'd done triple was like smart, and everyone who'd done double was like dumb. But I remember Alex said to me, he was like, "I done triple and it was hell." But because he said
I done triple
because he said it was way more work, and obviously you can do double and then focus more on your GCSE on your actual choices. And I was like, okay, so I done biology and chemistry. I loved physics, but the only way you could do physics is if you've done triple. And then so obviously you dropped everything apart from 2 sciences, English, maths, and then you had your 3 choices, and that was all you had for your lessons. So
my school got 4 choices.
You got 4?
Yeah.
I done history, business, and food tech were my GCSE choices, and I regret a few of them.
I done Mandarin.
Yeah, I would have taken Mandarin for GCSE.
PE.
Ooh, really? Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Love PE.
I know you love basketball and everything, but
Basketball, rugby. I love playing sports.
Well, no, yeah. What am I talking about? We still had to do PE. That was mandatory. So
everyone had to do PE, but people who didn't choose PE,
your school,
their lesson was like a joke.
Oh, okay. Was your school different? If you didn't take PE, did you no longer do it?
No, you still had to do PE.
Oh, I was going to say, because
it was basically a joke. Like, they wouldn't teach you anything. They just let you play football or sports for an hour, and that's it.
Exactly the same as mine. I'd say, like, for people who did take GCSE PE in my school, obviously, the difference between, obviously, people just doing PE normal and then doing GCSE, they basically had double. So we'd have a PE lesson, and they'd have, like, 2 hours after doing more GCSE PE. And they'd be like, exhausted by the end of the day. But no, the actual GCSE PE at school was actually good by everyone I know who took it. Like, they said the theory was actually really interesting, and and apart from, unlike normal PE when they just be like, just play football. Unlike that, they actually did a lot of different sports and a lot of different...
I done trampolining, basketball, archery.
Archery? What?
Yeah,
I done archery at Air Cadets, but I didn't do it at school. Damn. I love archery.
What else did I do? Rugby, football.
Y'all posh boys.
Yeah.
School.
It's a fucking crazy place.
Dude,
just gonna dox myself there.
I'll cut that out, don't worry. What's it? I'd say, yeah, we had, swimming, trampolining. Probably the most interesting. We only once we done American football because they got the equipment for it, but then they couldn't, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe funding, I don't know, or someone broke the equipment. They basically got all the full American football equipment, even, the shoulder pads, the ball, everything like that. It was, and we were actually really looking forward to it, and we did it, and I was actually pretty good at it. I was much better than I thought I was, going to be, and done it once. Never happened again. Don't know why. This never ever happened again. And it was like the one PE lesson I enjoyed the most. I was like, oh man, trampolining was always fun because we'd always people would do what we'd call action kicks. So there'd be two trampolines either side, and then a big barrier in the middle in case you fell. In case you went over to the other one. But when the teacher would walk out, people would jump really high and then kick each other midair, and it was dangerous. It was very dangerous, but it was really funny. It was really fucking funny because you did it full on, like karate kick midair. And I remember my friend
Human.
I can't remember his name. My bad. He what's it? he was at that time. He was a second brown stripe in karate, and people were doing that. And some guy kicked him in the back, and he said it hurt. So he got really pissed off and just went, you know what, fuck it, bounced, and then like straight around us, kicked him in the face. And he fell off the trampoline, and I think he almost broke his wrist. And I looked at
Human,
and he was just like, "My bad," and I was like, "You idiot." But trampolining was fun. I enjoyed that.
When it came to trampolining, we. I don't know if it was Junior Olympics or something. I don't know. This guy who we did it with got a gold medal in like multiple different competitions. So, obviously he did PE, and when it came to doing the trampolining, like, we took it super serious because we took it super serious because like he
push-up glasses.
Because he actually got the medals and stuff, so he taught us some of his techniques that he did. And like teachers were like, "Yeah, fuck it, we'll do this we'll do it properly then instead of just fucking around like we was gonna." So like, there's a few sports like rugby we took seriously because I had like
I took rugby seriously. I took rugby seriously in my early years because I got into the team, but then like I told you, I got kicked out of the team very quick. So it's like year 7 and 8, I took it seriously, but after that, I just stopped giving a shit about PE in general because I realised that was the point. I realised after a year, I was like, oh yeah. They just do this because they have to. Hence why that was the point in... It was like end of year 8, beginning of year 9 is when I realised, oh yeah, we're starting to do football every day because they have to get us to do something. So, you know, it was the only time I actually enjoyed PE was either summer or there was also... we had so you had girls' gym and boys' gym, and then basically, you know, sometimes you'd go to each... Because each gym would have its own facilities, like specific ones. And so the girls' gym had actual like workout machines in the corner of the gym. They get put in and out. It was the same room, basically. That same gym hall had all the trampolines one side, and then like in the corner they had all the machines. They had a row machine and stuff like that, and they were great. Because I'd never hit my mic. I'd never used
slapping the mic.
I'd never used what's it like, you know, like gym machines before, and honestly, there were some lessons when they just like let us use any of them for like the whole hour, and I honestly like I'd say sometimes I just spent the entire hour on the row machine because I found it the most fun because it was just the most I don't know. It was just the easiest to, like, probably to like just get away with really, but I'd say those PE lessons I enjoyed the most because honestly, sometimes, well, majority of the time, the field was fucking horrible and it was muddy, and you'd always get wrecked and stuff.
So you know how you just said about you.
Oh, you're cutting out, mate. Cutting out, mate.
Say
it again.
You know how you just said that you used to have your gym equipment in the corner in the girls' gym.
Yeah.
We didn't have a boys' or girls' gym. We had 2 gym halls.
Bro, we had 2 gym halls and then a whole building, which was one massive gym for basketball.
So the first hall was for like small stuff like indoor high jump.
I never did high jump.
You know the equipment you could pull off the walls and shit. And it's like all that big frame.
Yeah,
that was what our small gym was.
Yeah.
And then our big gym had a massive basketball. Yeah, and just in the little room off that was a fitness studio. There were 2 of them. So there was one running machine, bench press, leg press, rowing machine, all that stuff.
I'm trying to think back to when we had our machines. I don't think we actually had any weights, like a bench press or anything like that, because I think they had it, and then they got rid of it because they didn't trust the students anymore because people were just hitting each other with it. And it actually, like, obviously, you know, it's weight, so it causes a lot of, you know, it's it's a really bad idea to hit someone with that because you can actually really hurt them. So I think they had them at some point and then got rid of them or hid them from people who weren't doing GCSE PE or people who weren't in sixth form. I'm not too sure, but I think that's
we had all of our weights and stuff were connected to a machine that you just pulled the pin out and moved it down to get more weight.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
And then if you wanted free weights, like just like dumbbells and stuff, you had to go talk to.
Can I just say, Bo, it's quite funny. 2 white dudes who don't go to the gym talking about gym stuff. What are you most looking forward to about Borderlands 3?
I don't know. There's a whole new characters. There's the new dynamic of being able to go to different planets now.
Yeah.
Sanctuary 3.
I was very surprised because obviously I'm very new to Borderlands because obviously I never played it before. And we've Russo has got me into Borderlands 2 recently. We've been playing it quite a bit. We finished the main campaign
once.
We finished the main campaign once.
We played mode.
Did we play 2 or 3 DLCs? We played the Christmas one.
We played 2 Headhunter packs.
Yeah, and then
they're sort of DLCs, but they're not proper DLCs.
Yeah, it's more just like go to this level, do these missions, do
Get
this
skin.
like go to this level that's like themed, and then get some cool stuff and go, and that's literally it.
So the purpose of a headhunter pack, for those who don't know after all this fucking time, is
all right, just shit on the viewers, they're
fucking idiots if they don't know what a headhunter pack is. They're fucking retarded.
Idiot.
You fucking cunt. No, but a headhunter pack is there to give you a new character skin and a new head. That's all they exist for.
We've got some cool guns and stuff.
Yeah, because the Christmas one gives you a present, like a present chest.
Fuckload of guns.
Fuckload of guns. And we done the and then we done the beach one, which is like the summer one. That gives you a reference raid boss. Because in the first Borderlands game, there's a DLC raid boss called Cormorax. It's a big fucking crab kaiju.
Yeah.
And then obviously in this one we fought Son of Cormorax in the summer DLC.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, Ben, great feedback.
What?
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
I said, yeah, that was pretty cool. Did my mic not pick it up?
No, all I heard you say was yeah.
Fuck's sake! God, this is the shit I get from him. Everyone.
What do you mean? You literally just gonna go me doing that.
Cut out all the stuff of me berating you. Just making you look like the arsehole. And everyone's like, God, Bruce is a dick.
You're a fucking nick.
All right, Ben, cut that in post.
Ben, don't cut that in post. So, I want to get you to play the main DLCs soon, but I don't know if we should. No, you need to make a backup, did you? Never mind.
What?
So I feel like the reason you're struggling so hard whenever we play together is because
hey, don't dox me on the. I'm not. I'm really good at the game. Actually like I'm Russo's like impressed with like how good I'm terrible at video games, and he's like impressed when we're playing. He's like, dude, that's crazy. You're like crazy good, man. Like it's actually like we get through the levels like so quick, and Russo's like, wow, this isn't even fun because we're just getting through it so quick. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but the truth is,
bro, back away from the mic. It's so loud.
Ben!
Dude, it's peaking so bad.
Ben, I have a certain authority. You will listen to me. Ben, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, go on, proceed what you were saying.
Alright, so you know how you're struggling with playing Borderlands 2?
No, you're wrong.
Okay,
carry on.
You can cut this bit from okay. I think what we should do is go back and not use our cheated in characters, so you can actually feel the difficulty increase slowly instead of just jumping.
You're literally doxing all of our stuff that we're doing. We're not cheating the game. We're playing it legit because I've never played it before, and Russo totally didn't get bored and said, "Let's skip the 2 other playthroughs so we can just skip straight to 3."
No, I wasn't bored. I was happy to do it. I was worried about you getting bored. No. Cause I know what you're like.
No.
You get bored of a game and you stop playing it.
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
Yes, you do. You've done that so many times.
I don't have a short attention span with games. That's only developed slowly over the past few years. What are you talking about? I don't get bored of games after playing it for like half an hour. Don't know.
Hey, you want to enter the dungeon?
Hey, right, let's talk about that then. Russo, go on, tell him how good I am at that game, man.
Oh my god. Ben, you rage so hard when you play that game. You don't get not like you don't get loud. You just get quiet, and you just sort of stop all bodily functions. You just sort of cease to exist for a short while.
So you do like 10 minutes of silence, and you're like, "You still there?"
So Ben started playing. He died, and then instead of trying again or going to the breach, he just quit the game and he's tried to Skyrim. And then I was like, "So Ben, what level are you at?" Because I thought he was still playing. Oh, I'm at the dragon level. I was like, "Oh wow, really? That's cool." Because I thought, like, I don't know how, but he's managed to get to the end of the game. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And I was like, "So, how you finding the dragon?" Like, no, bro, I'm at the dragon level. I was like, "Yeah, I know. You just said that."
I can't believe you fell for it.
This motherfucker was playing Skyrim instead. And I don't thought maybe because your version's been quite glitchy compared to what I'm used to. So I thought maybe your game just glitched out and was like, fuck it, go straight to the bottom. But no, this fucking motherfucker right here. Like, nah, fuck
you fell for it so bad because I thought surely he's going to pick up what I'm saying. But then I didn't realise, I didn't know that you told me, but I forgot that the last boss of the game is a dragon. And I didn't think about that. And then I said I'm at the dragon level and you were like, you're at the end of the game. And in my head I was like, fuck, this joke's just gone. Yeah, I thought he was going to get it immediately, but no, you genuinely fell for that. I made it to the end of the game, and then I had to say boldly, "No, Russo, I stopped playing. I'm playing Skyrim." And then you got mad.
Because this motherfucker right here.
I love Enter the Gungeon. May I state?
You fucking hate it. You're so bad at it.
No, I am terrible. Dude, I'm terrible at everything I play. No,
admit it.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I've admitted it in like every video. No, you're lying.
No. Climate change isn't real. No. Climate change is myth.
Moving on. I really do enjoy Enter the Gungeon. I love a lot of things about it. The game's really, really it's really cute. I love love the design of all the enemies and stuff. It's great. It's just
design-wise, you love.
No. I told you it was like the first 2 runs I'd done. The first run I made it to the second boss and then died, and then the second run I made it to the second boss and died again. It was then after the first 2 runs, which you didn't tell me, I specifically asked you and you didn't tell me, was I said to him, does the game get more difficult? Obviously he might have thought in a general sense, like, level progression, enemies getting harder. And Bruce was like, yeah, of course it gets harder. And I was like, okay. Well, actually, I was asking him because I started realising after the first 2 runs, that even the beginning area where you spawn, the enemies are way more difficult. And the enemies that I found, new enemies that I found at the end of the second level, were at the very beginning of the first level. And I said to Russo, what the fuck? Is this a glitch or does it get harder? He went, yeah, of course it gets harder. And I was like, yeah, I know it gets harder, but do the enemies that... is it the more runs you do, the harder it gets? And Russo was like, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? You lied to me.
So somehow by telling him the truth, I lied to him.
No, because I think the way I asked you, you didn't understand what I was asking. Because originally... Well, either way, you would have been... No, yeah, either way, yeah, you gave me the truth. No, but yeah, because I didn't know. And then I started doing more runs, and it started getting harder and harder, and I couldn't even make it past, like, the first couple of rooms. Because I made the first 2 runs, no damage whatsoever until I got to the boss and died. And then after that, I couldn't even get past, like, 2 rooms without receiving, 2 hearts gone. And I was like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. And I was getting really... I was getting really mad. And eventually... So now when I go back to play it, for me, who's not good at games that much, I get past the first level, maybe the first boss, and I don't get any further now. I just can't. I can't get any further. And it's... It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Because I'm like, why not keep it the same? But you said it's a genre of what type of? You said it's like
roguelike action shooter.
Roguelike action shooter. That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Dungeon crawler.
Yeah, it's dungeon crawler. But I was just like, I was so angry. But no, that time when I jumped over to Skyrim, it's because I was playing Skyrim before, and then we said we start playing. What Russo and I have been doing is both been playing when I first got into the Gungeon because it was free on Epic. Russo's been playing Into the Gungeon for a long time on Switch. He's been playing for for how long? How long have you been playing now? Like, when'd you get it?
What? Oh, I just got.
Yeah, like a lot. I
don't fucking know. I think when it came out on Switch,
you've put a lot of hours into it. While me, on the other hand, obviously, it was playing for the first time, and like what we done at first was we were both playing at the same time, started at the same time, and then see who could get through the who can get through it quicker. Obviously, Russo got through it quicker because he's had more hours, but he just wanted to see what I could do. And like I said, first couple of runs was going pretty good, and Russo was like, "Nice, you're doing pretty well." And then after that, it all went downhill. I have not made it past the second boss. I don't think I ever will. And yeah, game's great though.
It's a great game.
It's absolutely a great game, yeah. But have you beat the game before?
Only the dragon. I haven't beat the past or anything.
No, you said what happens after it? After it.
Okay, so Enter the Gungeon has 5 floors originally,
Mm-hmm.
and then you beat the past, so that's technically a 6th.
Mm.
And then there are the secret floors, so there's another 5, 10, 11. Then there's the Lich, so that's 12. There's like 12 floors, I think you can go through maximum one run.
Mm.
Or 11 or 12, I don't know. But yeah, I've only beat the dragon twice.
Mm.
That is, out of all the time I've played, I've only beat it twice. It's fucking hard as shit.
How many times do you have to beat him? 3.
No. You beat him. You beat him. So many characters are there? There's 10 characters now.
It's 10. You have to beat him 10 times. Wait.
That's the bare minimum.
Wait. So to fully complete the game, if you want to like actually get the ending of, is there an actual ending to the game, or you talk about like 100% completion?
End to the game.
And wow, that's
So-
brutal.
So each character has their own past, which they're trying to kill.
Oh, okay, right. I get what you mean now. I get what you mean. Yeah.
But if you want to beat the Gungeon, quote unquote, beat it,
Mm.
you need to go to the Lich instead and fight him.
Mm.
Instead of beating your past, you beat the Lich, and he's a bitch. But you beat him, and then the Gungeon's like you know the splash screen. There's like a picture of a skull and stuff.
Mm.
That skull gets a bullet shot through it. You know the elevator you ride. There's a bullet chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that gets shot through the head of the giant skull, and you beat quote unquote the Gungeon.
Yeah.
And you could do that in 6 floors, but you need to beat the past first to do that.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's hard as shit though.
Cool. Yeah. I'll cut that. Cool. I'll cut that out. Alright,
Sorry, what? I was somewhat distracted.
All right, okay. Let's just get this off the table because I have a list of topics right now. So Russo.
Yeah.
So the past year, as you all know by now, you've probably heard about the absolute shitstorm that was. As much as I love them for making Skyrim, I will never forgive them as a company for this.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we're talking about it. We are talking about it.
We'll just forget they exist.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Fallout 76 and the absolute shit show that was. Just to clarify, to begin, so obviously last year, this came out on July 10th, and at the end of August last year, Russo and I went to Gamescom with our college
In Germany.
in Germany, in Cologne. We went on a trip there, and it was great. It was we absolutely loved Gamescom, and at the time, I don't know about Russo, but I was really looking forward to Fallout 76, especially that we went to Bethesda's panel. We went to Bethesda's little area at Gamescom, and we even saw. We went into like a Fallout 76. What was it? Like a viewing? It was like half an hour, wasn't it? Something like that. It was short.
It's okay. It was a decent chunk.
Yeah, it was pretty. Because it was, everyone. God, just looking back at it now, I wish I could just look at it like you poor fools, you poor fools. Like we went in there and they were like, playing old fucking. Everyone was singing like, "Oh, West Virginia," and I was like, "Fuck's sake!" Everyone's singing goddamn
Country roads.
Yeah, everyone's singing country roads. I was like, "Fucking hell, here we go." And everyone at the time was pretty hyped. And I remember even outside they showed in like a glass cabinet, they showed the collector's edition with like the helmet and stuff. I was like, "Oh man, this looks so cool." And then we also got to play Elder Scrolls Blades, which was okay. It wasn't great. I mean, the coolest thing I got out of it, I got like a sticker sheet, so did Russo, of a bunch of Bethesda stickers, which I stuck over my PC, and it looks fucking awesome. But
I stuck one on my door, and I regret it.
yeah, I know what it. I know the one on your door.
Bedroom door.
Yeah, I know the one. He put 76 on his door. But
Alexa, that's so sad. Play Country Roads.
Play Country Roads. But so we were really. I was really hyped for it. We went to see the viewing and stuff like that. We saw before gameplay came out and stuff like that, and we were all looking forward to it. And then E3 when it got hyped up, and then I lost my shit over Elder Scrolls 6 getting announced.
Cried.
Oh yeah, I did. And how? And obviously we talked about this last podcast about Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 76, you know, being hyped up. But and then yeah, it came out.
God,
And
wow.
oh boy. The main reason by now, obviously everyone knows about it. It's been a year. However, the one person I love to talk about this the most is Russo, because his views and
so shit.
he's so passionate
It's
about
such
it.
a fucking broken game. Bethesda needs to sort the shit out. They've lost.
Talk me through Russo. Why?
Oh, no.
First things first. What? Let's just say, what don't you like about it?
Everything. The whole game is a broken piece of shitty mess. Like, there's not one working functionality in it. They banned their players for playing too long. No, not too long, sorry. It was a while ago. Some guy had like 900 hours in the game, and his account got terminated because he had too much ammo. But the guy said that he didn't have too much ammo. He was just trading ammo between him and his quote-unquote piggyback account, which people who don't know what that is, it's like a secondary account you have so that you can store things on and then transfer it all back to your main character. So what I've seen, the common consensus is that Bethesda don't check how much ammo you have. They check how much ammo has passed through you, and they don't reset the value. They just keep on tallying it up. So I think that Bethesda thought he had too much ammo, didn't check his inventory, just sort of banned him because he had numbers too high.
Yeah.
Which that caused a shitstorm. Then there was the whole fucking duffel bag.
The duffel kerfuffle, as Internet Historian called it.
God,
Which, just to say, by the way, if anyone watching hasn't seen the Fallout 76 video made by Internet Historian, I highly recommend it. It's so funny and it's so true of all the shit that happened. That and the Dark ROM situation that everyone had to deal with.
No, the fucking dark. Oh, I forgot about that.
You forgot.
Oh my
With the
fucking
plastic
God.
bottles with a glass bottle inside, that was just a plain
thing
glass
is, though,
bottle.
People made it on ArtStation
Yeah.
for like so cheap. It's like £5
On
or something.
Etsy, you mean on Etsy?
On
Yeah,
Etsy.
yeah. People because of after people made fan-made stuff of like Nuka Cola and Nuka Quantum stuff like that, and they're fucking they're really high quality stuff that people have made in their spare time, and it's beautiful work. And the most ironic thing is people have been making this stuff for years because Fallout obviously has been going on forever, but like Bethesda could have learned from people's work on Etsy, and they could have just made a simple glass bottle, simple dark rum glass bottle, and that's all they had to do. But no, because of manufacturing, they made a plastic shell around a glass bottle, and then when it poured out, it went everywhere, and the quality of the rum was terrible. It was abysmal.
I suppose no, but people wouldn't buy it for the rum. They bought it for the bottle.
Oh no! People brought it because I've heard people say at Bethesda's E3, if you go to Bethesda's panel, their conference at E3, their after party, and like before you walk in, you can pick up. It's official, like their merch. It's official. There, some places, I think they said it on their website now, but before they never did. And then you can only get it at E3. But they sold, official Nuka Cola, Nuka Quantum. Obviously, it's just duplicates and stuff like that. And I think Nuka Quantum is like, I think someone said it tastes like Mountain Dew, I think. But basically, these are like collectibles that are worth a lot of money. So a lot of people don't open them and keep them on their shelves. But people that did have them said they tasted great. And I remember, I think at one E3, at an after party for 18s and over, or 21s and over, I guess, because it's America. I think they had I think it was just rum they got, but then they said, dark rum, Nuka dark rum, and they said it tasted great. So people buy it for the novelty, and as well as they, some people drink it, some people don't. Whatever, doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want with it. But it was just, god damn, it was a mess. Especially the main problem with a lot of their stuff this time was ordering. Especially with so our friend, I won't say his name, but our friend in our course got the collector's edition for 76, and he brought it in the day he brought it. Russo, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
And honestly, when he opened it, we were all like, I was mainly amazed by the helmet. The helmet was really cool. I was quite
nice.
I'd say the helmet was probably the best thing about it. Everything else was pretty eh. And at the time, with the duffel kerfuffle, I didn't even notice. I don't know about you, but when he opened it, I didn't even notice because it was quite funny. He took it out of the box and then just chucked it to the side because everyone was interested in the helmet, nothing else. And why not? But I mean, you know,
Then
I
we
didn't.
realised what was wrong
And then,
after a few minutes.
yeah, and then we realised, and we were like, "That's not canvas, is it?" And then he was like,
Nylon.
"Oh shit, yeah, it's not." But he didn't seem too bothered about it at first. I think mainly he was one of those type of guys like once he heard about everyone not getting it, and then it was like a huge problem. Then he probably jumped on the bandwagon. Because when I talked to him originally, he didn't really care. He was like, "Ah, all right." I mean, all he cared about was the helmet, and you know, rightly so. I mean, I thought the helmet was great.
Yeah, but you can use that canvas bag for other things. So
I know you can.
why would you not
And
want
the
it?
ironic thing is, which Internet Historian talked about, they released a canvas backpack, 76 branded, as like a separate thing for people who, I think it was a pre-order or was it a bonus?
It was for influencers.
Yeah, that was it. It was for influencers, like YouTubers and stuff.
So
And like,
not people who buy the game.
Yeah.
People who are given the game for free
Promote.
to give it good reviews.
yeah, promote it. Like, you know, YouTubers get like games before they release, they get a press copy and stuff like that. But it's like they released a canvas backpack before and then didn't put the funding into the stuff that people, hundreds upon thousands of people probably paid for. And it's like,
So
come
I'm
on.
pretty sure, but I'm not 100% on this. Didn't they do the same thing before, but actually managed to give everyone canvas stuff? Like, we'll have to look that up, but I'll look it up now.
Yeah. But it was
But
just
I'm
like
pretty sure.
that game
They,
was, yeah. So alone as like, you know, the Dark Rum, the Collector's Edition, whatever, a lot, you know, it had a lot of mistakes, and then people had to get reorders, and then had to give their, when people gave their information back to the say, oh yeah, I want to send it back, I want a refund, or they said, oh yeah, we'll send out canvas bags in the future. They gave them their information, and a bunch of people got their information doxed online because their website was broken. So it was like, I think it was like over 50 people had their credit card information leaked, and then people obviously, you know, took it. So way to go, Bethesda. And I was saying this to Russo a while back when it came out, and I was saying how, why didn't, for the development of the game, because it was such a shit show, why didn't they get ZeniMax to take it on? And then
That's too easy.
and then Russo said something interesting. He said to me, he was like, maybe they was doing something to do with ESO still, maybe they're working on another project behind the scenes that they can't say anything about. But I was like, you know, they already have a company they're partnered with that made a very successful online MMO, and they have it's a very big team, and it's very, you know, it's very well organized. They, as we've seen before, demonstrated by before from their game, it's very successful. As much as I don't enjoy ESO and MMOs, that game is phenomenal and it is great. But like, you know, so why didn't they get ZeniMax to work with them for 76? No. Instead, they gave it to a smaller company that couldn't deal with demand, and they gave them so much to do. It was rushed, and half of it, not half of it's a bit of an exaggeration, but a lot of it at the end didn't get enough testing or stuff like that. And then when obviously as it came out, as everyone knows, someone made a video, had over like 3,000 bugs or something like that.
6 had a lot of the same bugs that Skyrim had.
Yeah, it was
So
like
It's basically a reskin Skyrim, honestly.
The thing is, it's like a lot of people have tried before. I've seen, obviously, you know, people made multiplayer mods of Skyrim. I personally think that the idea of 76 was great, and Russo really did enjoy Fallout 4. I enjoyed Fallout 4 to a certain degree. Let's put it this way: I don't think any game, maybe ES6 in the future, but I'm not too sure. But Skyrim, without a doubt, has been the only Bethesda game that I've probably dedicated too much time in my life into.
Understatement of the year.
Yeah, understatement of the year. Yeah, I adore Skyrim so much, as you know, as probably a lot of people know. I've said it a million times, but like, I think it was probably like one of those things. It was like at the time I got into it, and it was probably one of the first Bethesda games I played. I think Fallout 3 was the first I ever played, and I really didn't enjoy it because I wasn't into those types of games at the time. But that was at the time when I was into pretty, you know, basic bitch games like Call of Duty on Xbox, and didn't really play much of anything else that was different. But I've played like, you know, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I've never played New Vegas, which it's
really good.
As my brother says, is a sin, because obviously as everyone says is the best Fallout, and I do agree from the stuff I've seen about it. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, to be honest, I think Fallout New Vegas is the only one I actually liked. Like, Fallout 4 didn't really like. Fallout 76, that's dead on arrival, honestly, at this point.
See, so Alex is probably gonna be listening to this. So, hey man,
Yeah.
how's Australia?
Fucking drag out.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be listening to this. But as Alex said to me, I watched him play 76 for just a little bit, and he played it with his friends when it came out. And he said to me at the time when he was playing it for a couple of days, he said it was really fun. He said it was actually, people were shitting on it too much. It was it was just a bit. People were just being a little bit too harsh on it. But then after a while, things started happening, and then he said to me, I think he said it got boring, or I think his friends got bored of it pretty quick. So, like, it was just the same thing again and again. And also, I think people were cheating with the nuke codes at the time, because obviously, the fucking amount of bugs they had. And I mean, it's always been the case with Bethesda games. They've always had a shit ton of bugs in their games. And I cannot count how many times I played Skyrim on 360, and I've got game-breaking bugs where I've had to go back a save and lost a bunch of progress. So, I mean, everyone memes on Bethesda so much for their bugs, and I mean rightly so, because they have a lot. But at the same time, I think Russo's opinion on this is quite true. It's like my respect for Bethesda has gone downhill a lot after 76. I think I mainly
it started to decline before, honestly.
My main respect for them and like love for them. I will always love and respect them for the amount of passion and dedication they put into Skyrim, because I think that game is phenomenal. However, as a company, Russo, go on your opinion, because your opinion for them as a company is 100% accurate in my opinion. It is like
they're not game developers. They're money makers. They're a business. They're not game developers. They're not in it to make games for people to enjoy. They're in it to make money. Whatever they do, the easiest way to make money, they'll do it. Like fucking 76 Battle Royale. Yeah, that'll fix it.
I think after Skyrim, they're planning to make games changed rapidly, because before they put you could tell they put so much passion and time and energy, and for God's sake, the amount of stuff they've done for their previous games is like incredible. However, and then the main thing that was appealing about Fallout 4 when it came out is they said new engine. They said we will release a new Fallout or Elder Scrolls once we have a new engine, and they got a new engine finally. However, it was exactly the same. It was like the graphic. As much as I will shit on Bethesda for their recent stuff, I have to admit, Fallout 4's graphics I loved. I loved the look of Fallout 4. I thought the aesthetic was amazing. I did love all the new gun customization, the power armors I thought were cool. However, the only thing I thought was bullshit about the power armors was that you'd have a power core that would have enough energy to give something enough energy for over, 100 years. You use it in power armor, it's gone in about 5 minutes. And I was like, what the fuck? I think Bethesda got very money hungry with 76, not so much Fallout 4, because Fallout 4 was still pretty much the same they'd done before. Base game DLC.
Except when they tried to sell mods. Yeah, that happened.
Well, see, we're still torn on that, because I think that
they're literally trying to sell mods that you can download for free.
I think Creation Club is good and bad. A long time ago, I thought Creation Club was a huge mistake, and it was the meme of like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? With Bethesda keep pushing, trying to sell mods, while obviously you have Nexus that has over 70,000 files on there for people to download for free. But
it's just it's another way for them to monetize the game.
Yeah,
that we've already paid full price for.
The only thing, before I was very against it, but after I heard about very popular modders on Nexus like Eleonora and a bunch of famous who's the guy? Is that Jason? The guy who made Jason swords and stuff like that, and immersive weapons and stuff like that. Basically, huge mods on the Skyrim Nexus that have been going for years, and they're on the modding community. They're like they are compatible with everything because they're the biggest mods. And those types of, and when I heard about those authors' mods being put on the Creation Club and being monetized, and they're finally getting paid for their work as well as before a few people were giving them money on Patreon, that's when I was like, okay, maybe the Creation Club is a good thing, because
paid to fix the game.
Because it was just, well, no, yeah, you said something interesting, which then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that is actually kind of true. Is the fact that Bethesda have always, whenever they release their games, their game files have always been very easy to get into and highly accessible, because they encourage their audience to mod their games, and as you said, because they encourage their audience to fix. a lot of things that are broken. And as I've come to realize, it's like, yes, that's very, very true. And the thing is about Creation Club, I hated it before, but now they're paying modders that never got paid before because they just done it in their spare time. Well, while they're releasing, you know, industry standard content, and they're like, yeah, I'm doing it in my spare time. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you should be getting paid for this. This is ridiculous. You should be getting paid for this. And now they are.
That's why they have Patreon pages.
Yeah, I know, but they don't have a lot of people. But now they've been put on Creation Club. They get way more. Way more. Yes, obviously Bethesda get a cut, but they still get more. They're still getting more money because obviously, if you think about console players, they've always wanted mods, and people who can't afford, you know, good PCs to run Skyrim and mod it, which is very understandable.
They don't need that good of a PC. They don't even need that good of a PC.
Well, I mean, when I had Alex's old PC, like, it was pretty limiting what I had. If I got an EMB, for, you know what an EMB is, right? It basically makes, imagine a filter. So basically, you know, you got like a noir filter or whatever like that. It's essentially what an EMB is, but basically it makes the shaders and lighting. It basically enhances it like crazy.
It's a lighting fix then.
Kind of, but if I show you an example of what an EMB looks like, it basically, you get graphics mods and then you put an EMB on top, and basically when you put it on top, it makes your game look complete. It doesn't look like Skyrim anymore. It looks completely different, and it'll make, you have some crazy ones where people make it look like a JRPG, or ones I get where it makes it look way more like a dark fantasy thing. So basically, it makes it look more grim and dark and stuff like that. So EMBs are really cool to make your game look fresh, or give it a certain theme or look to it if you're going for a certain aesthetic of like how you're modding your game. Because obviously some people want to make it a complete fantasy game, some people want to make it more JRPG. It depends, whatever you want, really. But it was good that for people on that's what I was saying. My old PC, like, you need a pretty decent PC if you want to run an EMB. But most people, obviously, a lot of people who mod Skyrim don't really get EMBs anyway. But because majority of people, when they first mod Skyrim, like I did, you want goofy mods, you want game-breaking mods, you want stuff to mess around and just, you know, all you want to do is break it, or all you want to do is have stuff that makes you a god because it's fun. Well, I found that with like a lot of people who mod it, when they first start modding stuff, they get ridiculous and funny mods. I mean, like, you know, Thomas the Tank Engine Dragon, or Macho, Macho Dragon, stuff like that, or ridiculous stuff. Or it's just, or you have the Top Hat Crabs, you know, and speak posh as they come up to you. But people always get ridiculous mods like that, or lightsabers or whatever. But then as you go along, and then eventually you just start to improve the game and not make it ridiculous or wacky, really. But I mean, it depends on people's preferences. But I think Creation Club is good for console players, but I still think to this day that for people on PC, it's redundant. It is completely redundant, because you can get the exact same, because the mod will be uploaded to Nexus, and then a couple months later, that mod author will be contacted, and then it'll be uploaded to Bethesda on Creation Club. So people on PC have had it for already like 3 months, so it makes no point. Obviously, I don't think they would ever remove it for one platform, because I couldn't see Bethesda doing that. However, I'm still torn on it. People who want to pay for mods, pay for mods. Go ahead, do what you want. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, be gay.
do if you got the money and you want to pay for mods on console, be my guest. I don't give a shit. But it's just like, I still think when I see mods like when I see like really basic, or like a reskin mod, that's something that's really like not insignificant at all, and then I see like the points you have to, like the money you have to buy the points for, and then the points you use for it, I see it's like a really high bracket. I'm like, come on, that's a bit ridiculous. When if you've got like industry standard stuff that, you know, like really good mod authors have made, and it's put on the Creation Club, and then, you know, it's at a pretty, you know, you need a decent amount of money to pay for it in points. Personally, I don't disagree with that, because they deserve it, because it's essentially DLC worthy. Like, I mean, it's better than anything Bethesda have made, for God's sake. People have remade Skyrim completely, like every single texture in the game is such high quality that it could be matched with something that came out yesterday, because people are that passionate about it. I mean, the game's been out since 2011, so I mean, like, it's bound to happen. There are like 4K and 8K textures for the fucking barrels in the game and buckets, because people just making retextures because why not? Because in their spare time or whatever, and they don't care. So the amount of stuff that people have made for like mods is just like, you know, it's crazy. And I think that some of it should be paid for, while some of it it's an iffy situation because it's either Bethesda will choose all paid for or not. They will never go in between. There will never be mods that are. I think there's a few things on Creation Club that are free though when you get it. Like I think for Fallout you get like a few Pip-Boy retextures and stuff like that that are free. I don't know. I've never used it and I never will. Yeah, I got the list. This is a good one. Devolver Digital at E3 2019. So, for anyone,
chaos.
For so for a lot of people who, well, yeah, for a lot, obviously no one will know this, obviously, but so Russo had never seen a Devolver Digital conference before. And we were watching it. We were watching all the E3 conferences together, and I said to him, for the love of God, he cannot miss Devolver Digital. Like, please, you cannot miss it. And he was like, all right. And we didn't tell him anything. We did not tell him anything about it, and I'm glad we didn't because his reaction was amazing. What do you think about it, Russo?
That was fucking chaos. There's just nothing but pure fucking chaos.
What I liked more about this year was that each year they have it as like a different thing or like format, if you will. Or it's because majority of the time it's them like just shitting on other people. That's literally all. It's like chaos, a lot of blood, a lot of people crying blood, and then it's like and then they have like, and then usually like it's like the format around it's like taking the piss. And this year they've done it as like a Nintendo Direct format, and that really I was like, oh, that's great, that's so great. And yeah, so for people who don't know, by the way, that Devolver Digital, for what they do for their conferences is basically it's a comedy sketch essentially while announcing their new games.
No, it's not that. It's chaos. It's chaos.
Yeah, it's basically they get actors to present their games, and it's just absolute. It's just it really like just stuff you would never see for E3 conference. They just completely just take the piss out of it, have ridiculous stuff going on, a lot of blood, people dying. Show that it's absolutely amazing the way they present it. But the funniest thing that really took me by surprise was Hotline Milwaukee, and their Devolver bootleg pack, which is on Steam. And it's so great. Well, was it Enter the Gun dungeon? Was that the knockoff Enter the Gungeon one? Yeah. And then you had what was Pikaniku's one? I can't remember. It was really funny, but yeah, it was just like the Devolver bootleg pack that came out was amazing. And honestly, like watching the Hotline Milwaukee gameplay, actually, it's still fucking great. But it's like, oh man. And the funniest thing they done as well on the Steam store, they said, oh yeah, it's on sale. It was 1% off.
That's great. It is great though. That's
I just love Devolver for the shit they do, man. It's so funny. So I love it so much. Like the shit they do for their audience is just great. As well as right, let's talk about more E3 stuff. What are you thinking about the FF7 remake?
I've been waiting for so long.
How long?
I got into Final Fantasy like 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
wait,
and then
only 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I'm not a day one Final Fantasy guy.
Oh, I thought you liked it when you were a kid.
Oh, I mean, like, I watched the movies when I was a kid. That was that.
There's movies.
Yeah, we didn't talk about those.
Wait, they live action?
No, CGI, but old CGI, not new good CGI.
Are we talking like early 2000s CGI?
So glad I had
like Matrix or like early Terminator CGI.
I watched Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within.
Okay.
Oh my god, was that movie? I can't even. It was so bad.
I didn't know they made movies. How many?
I don't know how many they made, but that's what I watched.
Oh, what the fuck? Why? That's a really weird thing for them to do. Like, because you told me I've only. People are gonna hate me if we got any hardcore Final Fantasy people that watch this. I've never played any Final Fantasy game properly. Russo lent me. He gave 13 to me, and I played about an hour. Not even that. Probably like half an hour, and I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. It drives me crazy. I'm really weird with turn-based combat. I don't like turn-based combat, but I like turn-based combat in Pokemon, so I'm really weird with it. But it's just, I don't know, man.
Pokemon's technically a JRPG, so
Well, no, it is a JRPG. That's what it is. No, I don't have a problem with JRPGs. I just don't like turn-based combat. I don't like MMOs. That's what you're thinking of. I don't like MMOs. I'm really picky, and it's really weird. But it's like, I think it's because Pokemon I never really saw as that genre when I first started playing it. So obviously, it was like very different to me, and then the format's been the same over time. So that's why I've always loved Pokemon. But it's like, God, I played 13 and I couldn't stand it. However, when I played 15 around your house, that was fun. That was really fun. I really liked 15. 15 gameplay was like really, because it was very different. It wasn't turn-based. It was just run around and hit shit. And I was like, all right, this is fun. I like this. You talk about Animal Crossing or the new Zelda coming out.
What do you call it? I've never played the original, so
Really?
it'd be cool to, you know what I'm talking about. The fucking it's a remake, isn't it?
Well, the new Animal Crossing.
No, Zelda.
Oh yeah, it's a remake of the Game Boy game. Yeah.
Yeah, I never played the Game Boy one.
Yeah, I've never played the original as well, but I've seen it before. I've seen gameplay of it before, and I'm like, it's a cool, cutesy little game on Game Boy. But the way they're remaking it, it looks, my God. Yeah, I love how you were like, what the fuck? Why is there a chain chomp in Zelda? And I was like, yeah, don't worry about it.
The thing is though, I saw on I'm subscribed to a bunch of gaming news websites, and I saw that they said that it was going to be announced beforehand. They said they're going to a new Zelda game at thingy, and I was like, what? No, they're not. Shut up. But then they did, and I was like, oh yeah. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
Epic.
Oh, I love the Luxus games.
I know you do.
It's just something about them. Just their difficulty.
What do you love about Dark Souls?
The fact that it bullies you into getting good.
That's probably the best way to describe it, actually. That is honestly the best way to describe Dark Souls. It bullies you into getting good at the game. That's a perfect way to describe it.
Like, you get beat up so much, but then you get good and you're like, oh shit, okay, so this is how I do this. This is what I do. And then it's just like once you've done all this enough times, it's just fun, really. You go through the world, make your own builds and stuff, and I don't know, it's just entertaining.
I just love it. It's like, without a doubt, one of the most like I said, iconic. But the bit in the first Dark Souls of how it throws you in a situation is, you start, you kill a few enemies, and then you're thrown in with a boss immediately. So it's just, I love how. Did any game do that before? Well, I mean, Shadow of the Colossus does that because it's
Shadow of the Colossus is boss fight the game.
Yeah, and that's why I love it. I love that game so much. It's everything about it. It's just the world, the story, the design of each colossi is just it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game, and I was so, when I saw the remake come out for PS4, that was that looked amazing. When I saw gameplay of it, I was like, holy shit, that's so cool. But yeah, I'd say stuff like that. I really find it interesting. Maybe Shadow of the Colossus is one of the first games that done that, but probably like a really hard game, like an old Castlevania or something, was the first to do that, where the game was just like heavily like boss intensive instead of making it a rare event.
What about that? What the other one you played?
Other one I played?
It's in your Switch. It's boss fight. It's another boss fight.
Fury.
Yeah, Fury.
That game's amazing. That game is so good. It's so hard, but it's so good. Like, it's about like you're essentially the bad guy and you're breaking out of prison and killing everyone in your way. It's like each guard essentially like stopping you from you get out of the prison at the beginning. You fight the the jailer. And then later on, you just start killing everyone who put you in there in the first place. It was like a whole team of people, and the music in that game and like the style is it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should definitely play Fury. Like it's like Bullet Hill gameplay.
I played that yours, didn't I?
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, you should, properly play through it. I think you'd love it.
Is it a download or is it a
I don't think there's a cartridge one available, but yeah, I got it off eShop. Yeah, I love that game. It's so good. But yeah, I really like that concept of those styles of games where it's just like heavily boss intensive. I mean, obviously, maybe you had games before where it was just like more frequent bosses in between stages, but obviously now, games like I'd say Dark Souls. Would you say Dark Souls bosses are frequent, or? Because I would say they're actually that, depending on what game you're playing, because some of them aren't actually that frequent. I think like in the first Dark Souls, the space between when you defeat the first boss can win the next one. The next one's the one on the bridge, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's like that's quite a way. Like it's
not that far. It's 4.
Yeah, but I mean I think because I mean it's not. Because if you think about it, it's not like a Shadow Colossus where you defeat one, go back, then find the next one, go back, find the next one, go back. And it's just one after another, like keep going.
I don't think you need to go back every time.
Yeah, you do. When you die, when you kill Colossi, you turn to a black goat. A black like cloud goes into your chest, and you just like pass out. And then you wake up back at the temple, and then you see the statue of the Colossi break into rubble. And then the guy tells you a hint of what the next one is, like someone who goes across the sky, or like a giant beast in the water, whatever. And then you run out of the temple, use your sword to find the way, and then that's what you do every time. So yeah, you do have to go basically like where you. It's good how, obviously, it would have sucked if it was, like, on the other side of the map, and then you have to go on the other side, but it's right in the centre, and then you just branch out to each, like, bit, so, every time, so, and ride aggro. So, yeah, that game is great. I'd say it's hard-ish, in a way. I'd say once you get the hang of it, once you get the hang of, jumping on a Colossi, just grabbing him, and then just keeping a watch of your meter while you're grabbing, so you don't lose it and then fall off.
Right?
Yeah, your stamina. Once you have a good understanding of that, and you can also upgrade it as well, then the game gets easier. It's once you get to the small Colossi, that's when it gets really annoying. It gets really fucking annoying when you have the dog and he runs around and it's so hard to grab on.
Doesn't it basically just show you where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to jump on?
It has hints.
Highlights the areas, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't highlight it. It highlights the area where you need to stab him because it's always the same. Like majority of the time, the first Colossi, you literally climb his back. You have to find like an entry point of like if it's on his arm or his leg, or what you do. Sometimes you'll have a mechanic or something to do where you'll need to get onto him. Then you'll need to get to the place where you need to stab him, and then you stab him. Some of them, like later on, the bosses will have like 3 areas you need to climb to each one, and then basically the whole challenge is obviously them trying to knock you off the entire time. You watching a stamina meter while you're grabbing on, and then. And that's pretty much it. But majority of the time on the bird is really annoying because he easily kicks you off. And then the ones later on with like the dog, where it's like a small one, he runs really fast and bashes into walls, and you can lose a lot of health. So stuff like that is really cool. But the beginning ones, obviously, they're beginning ones, so they're easier. Or they're pretty big, but when they're bigger targets, so they're easier to climb. So my favorite one is it's Gaius. He's like the tallest one with like a club. He's pretty cool. He's on a platform. He is really hard to climb, but it's pretty cool, man. Shadow Colossus, good game. It is good game, yes. Well, that's the end. So I guess we'll do an outro now. But yeah, I guess we'll see you all in a year. Hope you enjoyed. And Russo, you want to say goodbye?
Smäcklar ditt, du smäckliga bandet ditt. Wall Street, low bandit, see you later, bitches.
Sorry.